Imagine thousands of completely normal people leaving their 9 to 5 jobs in their 40s and 50s. Some even leave in their 30s. They do not have trust funds. They did not win the lottery. And no, they do not live in a van eating canned beans every day. Well, maybe some live in vans, but those are very nice vans. Early retirement used to be a myth. It was only for chief executive officers and lucky investors. But something changed. Regular people like teachers, nurses, and engineers are stopping work years ahead of schedule. Their strategies are not complicated. They do not day trade at 3 in the morning. They do boring things. Really boring things. And it actually works. Today I will break down exactly how regular people retire so early. I will show you the exact strategies and the one mindset shift that changes everything. Before we go deeper, I need to talk about the single most important number in your personal finances. It is not your salary. It is not your net worth. It is not even your credit score. It is your savings rate. That is the percentage of your take-home pay that you actually keep. You keep this money instead of spending it all at the store every weekend. Yes, I am looking at you. You go in for toothpaste and leave with a $40 cutting board. We all do it. Let me show you why your savings rate matters. If you save 10% of your income, you will work for roughly 40 years. That is your whole adult life. You start at 22 and work until you are 62 years old. But if you raise that savings rate to 25%, you only work for 32 years. Raise it to 30% and you work 28 years. Save 50% and you are done in just 17 years. The math does not care about your salary at all. Someone making $60,000 a year who saves 50% will retire faster than someone making $200,000 who saves 10%. It is about keeping more money. The gap between what you make and what you spend builds wealth. It is better than picking stocks or doing side jobs. That gap is everything. Let me explain the first secret to keeping that gap wide. People get a raise and they spend it instantly. This is called lifestyle creep. It destroys early retirement dreams silently. You make $120,000 a year and still live paycheck to paycheck. The extra money went to a nicer apartment. It went to a newer car. It went to streaming services and an $8 coffee every single morning. People who retire early do the exact opposite. They get a raise and pretend it never happened. They send that extra money straight into investments automatically. They do this before they even think about spending it. The money never touches their checking account. Their daily life stays exactly the same. But they do not live like monks. They do not sit in empty rooms eating rice by candlelight. They just spend with clear intent. They will pay for travel if they love it. They will buy good food. But they will happily drive a 10-year-old car. A car is just a tool to get from point A to point B. Only you care about what car you drive. So you are saving a big part of your income. Now you must invest it. People love to make this part complicated. They try to pick individual stocks. They try to time the market perfectly. That sounds exciting, but it is a trap. Almost everyone who retires early simply buys broad market index funds. That is all they do. They buy total stock market funds or Standard and Poor's 500 funds. It is boring, but retiring at 45 is very exciting. Let me show you why index funds work. The Standard and Poor's 500 normally grows by 10% every year. After inflation, it is about 7%. You do not need to be a genius. You do not need to read complex reports. You just put money in and leave it alone. Leaving it alone is the most important part. People love to panic and sell when things look scary. Then they buy when the market is hot. That is exactly what you should avoid. Early retirees treat investing like a boring utility bill. You do not panic over an electric bill. You just pay it. Money goes into the market on the 1st and the 15th of every single month. They do not care what the market is doing. They ignore the scary news headlines. Now I want to talk about housing. Housing is the biggest expense for most people. If you want to retire early, housing is the biggest lever you can pull. Imagine paying more per month than a home loan on a 4-bedroom house in the middle of the country. People who retire early usually do one of a few things with their housing. Some of them house hack. That means they buy a building with 2, 3, or 4 units. They live in one unit and rent out the others. The rental money pays the loan. Now their housing cost is zero or very close to it. Do you see how powerful that is? Imagine your biggest monthly cost just disappearing. That alone can double your savings rate overnight. Other people choose to live in places where things cost less. They leave expensive cities by the ocean and move somewhere their dollar goes further. Working from home has made this much easier. You can earn a big city salary while living in a smaller, cheaper city. The difference in the cost of living is huge. We are talking about going from a $3,000 a month apartment to a $1,500 home loan. And you get a house with a real yard. Then there are people who buy a simple house and pay it off as fast as they can. They put every extra dollar toward their loan. They own their home completely in 10 or 15 years. Suddenly, their monthly costs drop down to just property taxes, insurance, and basic repairs. When your housing cost is basically zero, the amount of money you need to retire drops a lot. So how do these people know when they have enough money? This is where the 4% rule comes in. It is very simple. Figure out how much you spend every year. Let us say it is $40,000. Multiply that by 25. That gives you $1 million. That is your target number. Once your investments reach $1 million, you can take out $40,000 a year. This adjusts for inflation, and your money should last for at least 30 years. Now, most early retirees want extra safety because they do not retire at 65. They need their money to last for 50 or 60 years. So many of them aim to take out only 3 or 3.5% instead. This means they need a bit more saved up. But the main idea is the same. Your yearly spending multiplied by 25 or 33 gives you your target. Here is the part that shocks people. That target number is based on your spending, not your income. If you keep your yearly spending at $40,000, you need $1 million. But if your spending is $80,000, you need $2 million. This is why the spending part of the math is so important. Every dollar you cut from your yearly spending lowers your retirement goal by $25 to $33. Cut a $100 a month subscription, and you just removed $30,000 to $40,000 from the amount you need to retire. That is crazy. Now look, I have been talking about spending a lot. I do not want you to think that your income does not matter. It absolutely does. The fastest path to early retirement is a high income mixed with low spending. If you can figure out how to make more money while keeping your spending exactly the same, you will speed up your plan incredibly fast. Regular people are doing this in a few different ways. Side jobs are the obvious choice. Doing freelance work, consulting, tutoring, or selling things online. There are more ways to earn extra money right now than at any point in history. Even an extra $500 a month can grow into something huge over 10 or 20 years if you invest it well. The bigger move for most people is investing in their own career. Ask for a raise. Switch jobs every 2 or 3 years to get bigger pay bumps. Loyalty to one company rarely pays off. Learn high-value skills and get new certificates. This is the boring stuff nobody wants to talk about. It is not as simple as starting an online store. Making $10,000 a month working from the beach is usually not real. But asking for a 15% raise at your next job is very real. Most people miss out on this because asking for more money makes them feel uncomfortable. You need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That 15-minute conversation could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars over your entire career. Do you know what else is uncomfortable? Working until you are 67 years old. Pick your discomfort. We have talked about savings rates, index funds, and housing strategies. All of that is just math and mechanics. It is important, but it does not work without changing your mindset. This is what separates people who talk about early retirement from those who actually do it. Here is the shift. You must stop connecting your identity to the things you buy. Our whole world tells you that you are what you buy. You are your car. You are your clothes. They say buy this and you will be happy. Upgrade that and people will respect you. People who retire early reject all of that. They define wealth by what they do not need instead of what they own. They measure success by their freedom, not their salary. Freedom means having enough money invested so they never have to trade their time for money again. That does not mean they stop working. Many of them keep working. They just work on things they actually care about. They volunteer their time. They start passion projects. They do part-time consulting on their own terms. They write or teach or build things. The difference is they do it because they want to. They do not do it because they have to. Moving from obligation to true choice is worth more than any sports car or designer bag could ever give you. Early retirement is math. It is not magic. It is not just for technology millionaires. It is not just for kids with rich parents. It is available to anyone willing to save aggressively. You must invest constantly and keep your spending low. You have to play the long game. That is all. There is no secret formula. There are no hidden tricks. It is just pure discipline over time. The tools are right in front of you. Index funds are available to anyone with an investment account. House hacking does not require a real estate empire. Side jobs do not require you to be a genius. The 4% rule is easy to understand. Everything you need is out there. The only thing stopping most people from early retirement is the willingness to actually do the work. If you are watching this and thinking this is not for someone like me, I want you to think again. The people doing this right now used to think the exact same thing. They are not special. They are just highly consistent. Consistency is the greatest superpower in all of personal finance. Please remember this video is for educational reference only and viewer discretion is advised. Always do your own research before making financial decisions. Tell me in the comments, what is your biggest block to retiring early? Is it your income or your spending habits, or do you just not know where to start? If this video helped you, please subscribe to the Life Investment channel and give this video a like. I will see you in the next one.